morning, everyone. Welcome to Delta Entertainment. I am your host, Lincoln Kenobi. And before we get started, guys, please hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel. Would appreciate that very, very much. All right, let's get into this. So we got an article, and if you guys have been reading what's been going on, they are going to get ready to do an X-Men reboot, and there's been a lot of talk of what's going on, and how they're going to approach this, and I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to work out, They're trying to first try to race swap Professor X and Magneto. There's rumor on that. There's so much going on with this. I'm hoping they don't try to do it, with the race swapping, because if they do, fans will be so furious, bro, But now we got this that just came out. Feige and Iger reportedly clash over X-Men movie direction. Disney scrambles for a blockbuster while Feige wants more social commentary. I mean, here's the thing, bro. This clash thing, I don't believe it. Because here's the problem, dude. All those years ago, from 2020, we've had disappointments on Marvel shows and Marvel movies. Big disappointments. And then people thought, Bob Iger's coming back. Our hopes are in. We're gonna get this movie. We're gonna get everything turned around. And did it turn around? No. It got worse. It got worse. Movie after movie is a failure. TV show after TV show a failure. So I'm like, what the hell? Now they're clashing because of the failures of Thunderbolts, Captain America 4? Really? And those other movies back then, they weren't failures? They were failures. Ant-Man the Wasp, Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, the Marvels, Eternals. Come on, man. Don't give me that. This to me feels like it's a setup. This feels like a hidden setup, bro. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe Iger has finally woken up and said, you know what? We're losing money. Kevin, let's stop with the nonsense. Let's try to entertain people. But let's read the article and let's give it the benefit of the doubt. All right? Let's go. Rumors suggest a behind-the-scenes battle is brewing over Marvel's long-awaited X-Men reboot, with Kevin Feige and Bob Iger reportedly at odds over the tone and focus of the upcoming film, according to insiders cited by X-user Main Middleman and reported by Cosmic Book News. The creative clash may determine whether Marvel's mutants return as ideological avatars or as crowd-pleasing box office titans. See, here it is right here. Here's this article. Feige wanted a more grounded X-Men story with a plot that really focused on social issues and disagreements about what it means to be a mutant. He wanted a powerful, dramatic movie that really showed what the X-Men were all about, with the Brotherhood of Mutants as the bad guys. Now, on the other hand, but that's not what Iger and Disney want. Aware of the poor performance of more restrained films like Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts recently, which I did not like. It felt boring. The scripts have been requested to focus on a great event to get a wider audience attention. At the center of the Feige-Iger X-Men debate is the very vision for what this new era of mutants should represent. Feige, who has overseen the Marvel Cinematic Universe since its inception, allegedly pushed for a grounded social change story about mutant identity, prejudice, and the philosophical rift between the X-Men and the Brotherhood of Mutants. That concept would follow in its footsteps on many recent Marvel offerings that leaned heavily into contemporary political metaphors and social themes. But Iger, facing mounting pressure from shareholders, due to diminished MCU box office returns, appears to be pushing in a different direction. After a string of box office disappointments, including The Marvels, Quantumania, Thunderbolts, Captain America Brave New World, Disney Top's brass is reportedly demanding a return to high stakes, high octane event films designed to reignite mass audience interests. This echoes recent histories under Iger's renewed leadership. Disney has slashed underperforming Disney Plus content, cut Marvel's release slate, and shifted focus back to a theatrical blockbuster after admitting that audiences have grown weary of content for content's sake. Iger has already proven he's willing to course correct, gutting Chip Chapek's distribution model, canceling greenlit projects, and firing executives like Victoria Alonso after public missteps. Well, what you could have done was, Iger, maybe you could have fired Kevin Feige. Because of all these failures that has been happening in these shows and these movies, you could have just fired Kevin Feige back then. But you haven't. So, what are you waiting for, Kevin? I mean, what are you waiting for, Bob? And the same thing with Star Wars, bro. The rumored conflict also mirrors the success of Spider-Man No Way Home and Deadpool Wolverine, both of which deliver returns by prioritizing fan service and franchise nostalgia over social commentary. It's no surprise that Iger reportedly wants the X-Men to follow that winning formula rather than risk another niche-focused flop. Casting speculation is equally chaotic. Reports have floated names like Cynthia Erivo for Storm, Daniel Day-Lewis as Magneto, Bryan Cranston as Professor X, and even Patrick Schwarzenegger as Cyclops. It's unclear how serious any of these contenders are, but Feige is said to be considering black actors for both Magneto and Professor X as well. Another possible point of divergence from prior interpretations, and that divergence could come at a price. See, that's the problem, dude. Kevin Feige needs to start waking up, man. He needs to stop doing this kind of shit. Race swaps, gender swaps. I mean, look at Taskmaster. They gender swapped in Taskmaster and Ghost. And of course, in Thunderbolts, they killed off Taskmaster immediately. I tell you, man, it's like unbelievable, dude. With much of the MCU brand now diluted from years of underwhelming content, the X-Men represent one of Marvel's last major trump cards. It's a legacy property with deep recognition, generating generational fan attachment, and storytelling potentially that, if it done right, could reignite enthusiasm across mainstream audiences. But the studio is running out of goodwill. If the X-Men reboot leans too far into controversial casting decisions, race-swap legacy characters, or politically divisive narratives, it could go the way of Eternals or the Marvels, expensive, alienating, and ultimately forgettable. Cindy Rivel's rumored involvement is already drawing scrutiny from longtime fans, many of whom with fewer past activism and public statements over the movie Wicked as unnecessary confrontational. Combined with whispers of ideological storytelling and character reimaginings that stray far from canon, it's easy to see why concern is mounting that Marvel and Feige is in particularly may not have learned from the franchise's recent stumbles. Whether the final product learns Feige or Ben's Iger, the X-Men are shaping up to be defining battleground for Marvel's future, with Iger set to exit Disney in 2026 and the X-Men reboot not expected until 2077 or later. The long runaway leaves time for either vision to win out. But in today's climate, the stakes are clear. Marvel needs a win. And they do. They need a win. Thunderbolts didn't do it. And do you think that the Fantastic Four, the first steps, is going to do it? I don't think so. With a lot of the red flags already with Fantastic Four, I don't think it's going to do it. I don't think it's going to win. I don't think it's going to make good money. I don't think people are not going to like the movie. But we'll see, bro. Because Kevin Feige, sometimes they talk a lot of crap. But they don't do anything. He doesn't do nothing. He could, if he wanted Marvel to be good, he could have just fired Kevin Feige a long time ago, and he hasn't done so, man. So I think this is all bull crap, man. But You guys let me know in the comments, what do you think of this? Do you think this is true? That Feige wants it to be turned around? Or do you think it's a false? You guys let me know in the comments below. So please, by all means, share this video. Post a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. And I hope to see you guys until next time. Bye, everyone.